guys, today I wanted to show you everything that I took with me on my cruise, which I realize it's been a couple weeks now, but I've actually just been keeping it in my little travel case so that I could do this, and I'm ready to clean my room, so it's time to film this video. And I just wanted to show you kind of how I pack everything that I could pretty much ever want into one little bag. This is from Sonia Kashuk. I got it last winter, actually, when I had to live out of my bag for 3 weeks when I was moving. If you haven't seen that video, I will link it down below so you can watch that as well. So let me show you how this bag is set up first. It has two removable clear pouches with zippers on them. They have Velcro on the back, but the Velcro is going to be really loud, so I won't take them off, just trust me. Here in the center, there is a little brush holder and then one big zippered pocket in the back. Hopefully you can see all of that. And it really is room for pretty much everything I could ever need. So I put all my brushes here in the middle, most of my eye stuff here, a couple primers and lip products down there, and then back here I have my big Z palette, and behind that, just a bunch of other random face and nail mostly. So let's start and I will walk you through this. I don't know what the best way to do this is. What if I just walk you through my routine? We'll start on my base and then move to eyes, lips, and then we'll do brushes at the end. That sounds like a plan. I did have one face primer. I took with me the L'Oreal Magic Lumi, which I like a lot. It is very glowy, and in the summer, that's exactly the look I'm usually going for. And I also took a sunscreen because I was in the Caribbean and I'm pale as heck. So if I hadn't taken this, I would have burned quite badly, probably. This sunscreen is by the brand Skin 79, which is an Asian brand. I think I bought this... Oh, actually, I bought this at Pretty and Cute in Portland when I was still living there, but I think you can probably find it on Amazon or lots of other places online. It is SPF 50 PA+++, which means it is both UVA and UVB, and there really is no white cast here. I'll even show you, at least not on me. If you're darker skinned, you might have an issue, but that's hard to say. But really, once it's in, there is no difference, which is incredible. And it soaks in pretty quickly, and it works well under makeup, so I've been very happy with this sunscreen. I took two foundations. I took my favorite right now, the CoverGirl Outlast Stay Fabulous 3-in-1. I took it in Classic Ivory and Ivory. 805 is the Ivory, 810 is the Classic Ivory. And I like this a lot. You've heard me talk about it a lot. I took both shades because I figured I would get a little darker, and I did. By the end of it, I was using almost exclusively the Classic Ivory. The undertone is a little different, so it doesn't work quite as well for me as 805 normally does, but it was good enough. I took a face powder. This is Wet n Wild Reserve Your Cabana. A lot of people use this as a highlighter, but I use it as an all-over powder. In my Z palette, I have this face powder. This is the Lancome something or other. Whatever their powder foundation is, in the lightest shade, whatever shade that is. I just did my nails, I'll ruin them. And then I have three blushes. These are all from Makeup Geek. Bliss, Smitten, and Spellbound. I have a bronzer. This is another one of the Wet n Wild color icons. This is in the shade... Is it shade name not on the back? That is ridiculous. Ticket to Brazil. It's just a little dark for me, but if I use it lightly and once I'm a little bit darker, it works fine. Of course, I have my NYX blush in Taupe. I didn't use this very often, but there is a formal night if you go on a long enough cruise, I think longer than 4 days. So there were a couple nights that I did want to look pretty done up, so I reached for it then, but just on a day-to-day basis. I didn't really use it, but it was good to have. I don't actually think that I used this, but I wanted to use it, and then I just didn't, because honestly, I didn't wear that much makeup on it. This is the Josie Maran Cheek Jelly in Berry Bliss, which is a really dark-looking shade, but when you put it on, it shears out really well, and it's made with coconut water, so it's supposed to be really hydrating. I don't know, I didn't actually end up using it. I think, yeah, that is all my face products. So, honestly, on a day-to-day basis, I was just putting on a little bit of powder and calling it good, but I was glad to have everything else for the couple times that I needed it. Moving on to eyes, of course, I had my Too Faced Shadow Insurance. Yeah, Shadow Insurance. I use this all the time. You know that. You've seen me use it in pretty much every video I've ever done. No surprise here, I had my Maybelline Color Tattoo in Barely Branded. This thing is getting low, but I bet it lasts me for at least another 6 months. Seriously, these are just never ending. I expect to never finish any of my other colors, honestly. I think this is the only one I'll finish. I took two brow products. I took Dip Brow in Taupe, and then I also took the Maybelline Brow Drama. I've been reaching for Dip Brow more lately just because it doesn't ever run out, and I feel like I was going through pencils really fast. I think I still prefer the Sephora Collection brow pencil, but when I have to buy a new one every month for what, 12, 10 or $12, or I could buy one of these for probably a year for 20, I feel kind of bad using them, so I've been trying to use this more lately. And then I took the Brow Drama because I wanted to have a day, something for days when I didn't want to have to do my brows, quote unquote, and this is really easy. That being said, I have found that I like better than this, but I'll talk about that in my monthly favorites, so this was okay. I had 2 eyeliners and 2 mascaras, so I took only brown eyeliners because I figured I'd probably want a little softer looking makeup. I took a brown pencil from Stila, the Smudge Sticks. This is in the shade Espresso. And I took the new tattoo liner from Kat Von D in the brown shade, which is amazing. And the 2 mascaras that I took were my Maybelline Full and Soft, which I really do love. It's beautiful. And then I took the CK1 mascara from the Ulta birthday gift last year, which, if you haven't seen it, is one of those 2-in-1s. When you turn the bottom here, the wand gets shorter. Can you tell? It's weird. Supposedly this is for lengthening and this is for volume, but it's a mascara. The eyeshadows that I took are in this D palette. They are all from Makeup Geek. I'm sure these are all shades that you have seen me talk about before. These 4 here are shades that I use all of the time. These 3 here are what I use when I want a more warm neutral eye. I took a couple blues just because if I ever want a pop of color, it's always blue. This Lancome powder is so fragrant. I just opened this thing up and that's all I can smell. It doesn't smell bad, but it kind of smells like Old Lady. Of course, the eyelash curler, because what would I be without an eyelash curler? This is the hardest thing to fit in here, honestly, because it's such a weird shape. I went on a 7-day cruise and I took 5 lip products because I have real issues. So I took a couple minis and only a couple full size. The minis that I took, as I drop everything on the floor. I took the Kat Von D liquid lipstick in Berlin, which is a brighter pink than my natural lips, but it's still passable for a more natural lip. So I like that one a lot because it lasts forever. I took the Givenchy Le Rouge in Rose Dressing, which was one of the 100-point perks lately. I don't think I even used this. I only took 1 red. I took the Urban Decay Revolution lipstick in F-Bomb, which I like a lot, but isn't that old and it has like a funny texture on the outside of it? I don't know about that. Of course, I took Urban Decay's Revolution lipstick in Fiend, which I am positive you've seen me wear. It's what I wore in my passport photo, actually. It's just my lips, but better shade. And for Formalite, because it just makes me feel so fancy, I took my YSL lipstick, the Rouge Per Couture in shade 04, which the name is only on the box, which is why I kept the box. This is Rouge Vermilion. And it is so freaking perfect in every way, and I want to own every single shade of this formula, but I just can't because they're like $36 each, but oh my god, I love them. I love them. I love them. This is really embarrassing. Again, it was a 7-day trip, but nail polish was my first love, and again, I have commitment issues, so I took 5 nail polishes. This is absurd. In my defense, I was at least thinking this through as like I could do one big manicure with all of these because they all pretty much go together, from a light blue, a dark blue, a more teal, and then a glitter that ties them all together, and then this light pink, but it wasn't as opaque as I wanted, so actually what I wanted to do didn't end up working out, which was really sad. But so the light pink is from Ciate. It is in the shade Amazing Gracie. It's pretty sheer, so if you like a sheer sort of your nails but better color, this one works pretty well for that. This light blue is Essie in the Cabana, which I think was last summer. It's really pretty. The darker blue is also Essie Strut Your Stuff. And then this is Naughty Nautical. I think this was one of my favorites last month. It is probably, if I had to pick one color to wear all of spring and summer, this is what I would pick. That's a big statement, but I really think this would win. And this is Formula X Thunder, which I freaking love. It has light pink and white and little tiny green and then blues of a couple different sizes, glitters. So it's just like the perfect top coat to transform anything into something that looks like you spent a lot of time on it. And then these are all of the brushes that I took, which means these are pretty much all of my favorite brushes. Honestly, I don't really think I've reached for a lot of other brushes off of my desk in the last couple weeks since I've been still living out of this. So let me just talk you through these. I'll start with the face and then move to the eye again. I took 2 foundation brushes because I wasn't going to be able to wash them, so I wanted to have one for liquid and one for powder. This is the Expert Face Brush from Real Techniques, which is my favorite brush for liquid foundation. And this is the Urban Decay Optical Blurring Brush, which is a really gorgeous brush that I don't think enough people talk about. This came out when the Naked Foundation came out, and it works really well with liquid foundation, but I also really like it for mineral foundation. This is the powder brush I've been using lately. It's the Sephora Collection Pro Precision Powder number 59. There's in front of the white, you can see it a little better. So it has a tapered shape, which makes it really easy to use in all of the different contours of the face. It's just about exactly the same shape as the Pro Contour brush, the number 79. It's just a lot smaller, obviously, and this is perfect for getting in underneath the cheekbone. So I really love both of these brushes. They're honestly, like, amazing. I think everyone should own them. I took the powder brush from the Sonia Kashuk Purple Collection from last year and used this for bronzer. And then the other two brushes that I took for the face are both from Real Techniques, the Duo Fiber set. This is the face brush and this is the contour brush. And this is what I used for blush. And this is what I have always been using for highlight for like the last couple months probably. These are all of the eyeshadow brushes that I used, and honestly I could do pretty much any look that I really wanted to with just these brushes. So this is the Sigma E40 Tapered Blending. This is what I use just to put a base color all over the top of my eye, like all of this area up here. But a lot of people use this as their blending brush, and it's just a little big for my eyes. This is the Sephora blending brush number 27. I like it fine, but honestly it does a pretty good job of just applying an all-over lid shade. I like it better for that than I do for blending. This is the Sigma Medium Angled Shadow Brush in E70. So you can see it angles up. It is pretty flat this way, but it does have an angle this way. And it's probably my go-to for applying a lid shade. I just like having a couple in case I want to use a really light shade and a really dark shade in the same eye. This is the Pro Tapered Crease from Sephora Collection, number 19. And because it does have that really tapered shape up here, it's really great for doing a more defined crease look. And then this is the Pro Crease Brush, number 10 from Sephora Collection. It is not as tapered, and it's also a lot less dense. So this is what I typically use for my crease and or blending. And then this is my eyeliner brush, the small angled brush from Sigma E65, which I actually was using for my brows. So that's everything that I took on vacation with me. I wanted to be able to do a really super simple look, just like powder, brows, mascara, go out the door, and look like I was at least kind of put together. I also needed to be able to go all the way up to a fully done, all-out face for formal night. There were 2 formal nights, actually, because it was a 7-day cruise. So I wanted to be able to go from one end of the spectrum all the way to the other, but I also needed it to fit in a suitcase. That's everything that I took on the cruise with me. I wanted to be able to go from like a put on powder and maybe a little bit of brows and some mascara and walk out the door for the rest of the day, all the way to a fully done up formal night kind of makeup. So I think that I did an okay job of kind of cutting it down, but still being able to do the whole spectrum. That being said, I definitely didn't need 5 eyeshadows, and I definitely didn't need 2 mascaras or 2 eyeliners or 5 lipsticks. I could have gotten it down smaller, but it all fit in my bag, and at that point, you know what, I'm taking the bag anyway, I might as well put as much in there as I can in case I want something else. Because that's always my thought. I'm like, well, I don't need it, but what if I want it? And since makeup is so much fun to me, you know, that's kind of how I go. What am I going to have fun putting on my face? My June favorites will be up soon. I didn't do May favorites because I was on the boat for the entire first week of June. So let's call this my May favorites. I will have a June favorites video up soon, and if there's anything else that you would like to see, please let me know. I want to do what you want to see. I will see you all again very soon. Bye, guys!